Today on First Financial Biz Beat, Election Day is right around the corner. We break down the biggest contests you'll see on the ballot. Breaking Down Walls, the free program that is turning local kids into filmmakers. And how actor Emilio Estevez played a role in a local t-shirt company moving into a permanent home. First Financial Biz Beat starts right now. Good afternoon and welcome to First Financial Biz Beat, presented by the Business Courier. I'm Kyla Woods. The Ohio primary is just over a week away, and while the Democratic presidential race is dominating the headlines, there are some big contests here at home. On the front page this week, the three elections to watch in Hamilton County. Three veteran Democratic politicians are running to replace the late Todd Portune, and Democrats are trying yet again to unseat longtime Congressman Steve Chabot. But the contest with the biggest potential impact here is Issue 7. It's a 25-year sales tax increase that would reinvent Metro.
For the first time ever, a Metro bus board is now allowed to spend part of its levy proceeds on road and bridge projects of significance for roads over which buses travel. This is going to provide approximately 30% of the money from this Issue 7 will go to that purpose, and that is a wonderful way to help improve our infrastructure, which independent experts have said there is over $1 billion of needed infrastructure improvements in Hamilton County.
If history is any indication, this is a tough road to travel, but this time there is high-powered support behind the issue from both sides of the political aisle. Courier reporter Chris Wetterick wrote this story. He's here with the Chamber's Pete Metz to talk about the Move Forward levy.
Thanks for being here, Pete. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
So this has been a huge priority for the Chamber of Commerce. Tell me a little bit about why that is.
Yeah, for us, it's listening to our members and understanding that what they tell us is they need talent to get to the jobs that they have today. They need to grow their business in our region. And for the businesses who want to come to our region, who want to attract the type of talent who needs to get around our region, we know that we have a major disconnect between where people are and where the jobs are. And so we're being responsive to the nearly 4,000 businesses in our region who have said, make transportation a top priority and get something done.
So 25% of the proceeds of this levy, it's going to go to roads and it's going to go to bridges. How is that going to be decided? What roads do you think are going to see improvements? Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, under the leadership of Representative Seitz, who we saw at the top of this, he was really instrumental in making sure that we were working with infrastructure experts through a Public Works Integrating Committee that has the county engineer and representatives from across the entire county making decisions in partnership with SORTA to invest these dollars. State law requires that these dollars have to be invested in roads that impact the provision of the bus service. The beauty of that is that that's the major corridors in our region. And you can think of big things like the Western Hills Viaduct or like Columbia Parkway that are in major need that impact our community, whether you're on a bus or in a car. And so leaders from across the community have identified those projects and many more as the types of things that will be able to be invested in through this levy.
And so the other 3/4 of the levy proceeds is going to raise about $130 million a year. It's going to go to buses. What improvements and what are bus riders going to notice different about their service after this passes?
It's going to be when it passes. It's going to be drastically improved in our community. We're going to have buses running earlier in the morning and later at night. We're going to have 24-hour service. We're going to have buses that run every 15 minutes, 7 days a week to make sure that we're cutting down those trip times, making it so that you don't always have to come downtown to transfer, that you can get east and west much easier. This is the type of transit system that will be truly county-wide, and it'll be one that connects people to thousands more jobs a year. The 24-hour service alone has nearly 350,000 jobs within those corridors. So we're going to have truly regional transit and transit that's going to be really high quality.
So it's a 0.8% sales tax in Hamilton County. Some people might say, oh, that's kind of a big tax. How's that mitigated? Well, something else is happening here, right?
Yeah, well, we're transitioning away from having a city transit funded system. If you live or work in the city of Cincinnati, you're paying 0.3% of your earnings tax to fund the bus system right now. That will go away under this plan if we pass this countywide sales tax. We're the only transit authority in the state and one of the only in the country that has a local funding tax for a countywide service. And so if you live or work in the city of Cincinnati and you make more than about $20,000 a year, you actually see your taxes go down under this plan, while we're also able to invest $130 million into our transportation system.
Pete, thanks for joining us. Kyla, back to you.
Thank you. Certainly an issue we will be keeping our eyes on. Well, Tamaya Denard is no longer a Cincinnati City Council member. That's because she resigned this past week. The first-term councilwoman is facing federal bribery and attempted extortion charges. Her fellow council members say it's sad but necessary so the city can move forward.
It's really important for us to replace Tamaya as quickly as possible with the right person, somebody who is committed to public service, is known for their commitment to public service, is known for their compassion and their integrity.
You saw Councilmember Greg Landsman there, and PG Sittenfeld will choose her successor. Sittenfeld says he's looking for a diverse candidate with a proven track record. He should have his decision in the next few weeks. In the meantime, Amy Murray's seat is filled. She resigned Wednesday to take a job in the Trump administration. Betsy Sunderman is taking Murray's place.
If we work together, we can rise above the chaos and solve the big problems in our city without division and instead with common sense and reason. So let's get to work.
The Hamilton County Magistrate spent 13 years as an assistant prosecutor. Well, the number of confirmed cases of the coronavirus in the U.S. is growing, and now Ohio is feeling those effects. The Arnold Classic, the country's premier fitness expo, is going on right now in Columbus. Competitors are there, but the 200,000 spectators are not, and stores are burning through sanitation supplies. Kroger is limiting the number of sanitation and cold and flu items customers can buy, despite the nation's top doctor saying to stop buying face masks because they won't do anything. People are still buying them, and that's creating problems for the people who actually need them to do their jobs.
We're a drywall company, so we need the mask for the dust in the air while the guys are sanding and doing the work. But people want to feel safe. So do we working. We need our masks. Like I said, I can't have my guys covering their face with their hands trying to sand drywall.
And on Wall Street, the Federal Reserve cut a key interest rate 0.5%, the first emergency cut since the financial crisis. The Federal Reserve chairman has also made it clear that they will adjust up or down as events warrant. Well, Fifth Third shareholders are getting millions more this year. The downtown-based bank raised the quarterly dividend on common shares 12.5%. The stock will yield a 4% dividend at its current share price of $27. That hike means the bank will collectively be paying common stock shareholders $85 million a year. However, dividend is still well below the 44 cents per share it was paying just before the financial crisis. A now closed OTR restaurant and its old landlord are suing each other. Panino's owner says he moved into the space on Vine Street because he was promised a beer garden. The suit claims that while 3CDC was telling him it was trying to get the land next door for that, it was also working to keep it a public space. It was eventually designated a public park, nixing the beer garden. 3CDC says Panino stopped paying rent. It wants the court to force the owner to hand over its restaurant equipment. A local startup that provides on-demand staffing is growing at a very rapid rate. Upshift is kind of like Uber, but for jobs. Businesses can post available shifts on the company's digital platform. There, Upshifters can apply for the job. It's a hit, so much so that the Brandery grad just raised a $3.7 million Series A round.
It will allow us to grow into new markets and invest more on our product and sales and marketing, as well as hire more on our sales side.
And some of Upshift's local clients include the Duke Energy and Sharonville Convention Centers, Kings Island, and Great Wolf Lodge. The company is already in every major city in Texas, and their plan is to expand into Michigan, Florida, and Georgia. A free filmmaking program for students is looking to take its show on the road. Fourth Wall is retrofitting a bus with 3 edit bays and production equipment. The OTR nonprofit works with local students to teach the skills involved in making movies. Franco Farrell started the program as a summer camp in a Northside church. The Ireland transplant was looking for ways to help kids who struggle in the traditional academic setting.
Things like creativity, critical thinking, communication, problem solving. And these are skills that are not readily available in a traditional education, but they're absolutely essential for a young person to have in order to be successful in the marketplace. And filmmaking, by its nature, automatically provides all of those skills to our young people, which is then transferable to almost any discipline that they choose to go into.
And it's working. Xander Wynn is one of the students who went to that summer camp, mostly so his friend wouldn't have to go alone. Well, it's turned into a launching pad for his career.
I am currently in the process of creating my own first film. So Frank has been a huge help with that, and I hope to go to Howard and study film, and then after that, continue building my business, my company.
And the students have won awards, dozens of awards over the last several years. One of Xander's projects was selected for the White House Student Film Festival. Xavier University President Father Michael Graham is retiring, but it won't take effect until next June. Father Michael Graham has been the university's president for 20 years, the longest tenure president in Xavier history. He says the university is stronger than it's ever been, and the time is now to attract a visionary and capable leader. He hopes to serve in an emeritus role at the school and to do more pastoral work. Up next on First Financial Biz Beat, where you'll soon be able to grab a drink and cuddle with some kittens. And we're going high above Kings Island's newest roller coaster. Welcome back to First Financial Biz Beat. We want to take this time to congratulate Letitia Owens. The president and founder of Guiding Light Mentoring is another one of our 40 Under 40 honorees. What is now the Native brand started as hats and shirts being sold out of a backpack, and there were times over the last 7 years where Jay Banks was on the cusp of giving up. And then, while crafting a thank you message in his car, he got a tap on the window. Outside, actor Emilio Estevez. He ended up buying $300 worth of merchandise. Banks didn't shut down the company, and this winter, he jumped at an opportunity to open a pop-up shop at Newport on the Levee.
We were down here just for the pop-up shop, but I told myself, hey, let's move everything in. Wanted to make sure that at the end of the stint, North American Properties wanted to, if they saw what I was doing, you know, they said, let's not let this kid go.
And they're not letting him go. The Native brand is getting a permanent home at the Levee next to Tom and Chi. And by the way, Banks now has the trademark for using area codes on apparel and the word Native. A new place to hang out with some furry friends is coming to the Tri-State. A former Covington auto body shop will be transformed into a perfect day cafe. Customers will be able to play with cats who are there from area shelters while they have coffee or a bite to eat. The cats are available for adoption, and the goal is to find homes for as many as possible. The Perfect Day Cafe is expected to open in early summer. In a little over a month, Kings Island's tallest and fastest roller coaster will give its first rides. Here's a look high above Orion. The Giga Coaster, as it's called, will be the park's first 300-foot coaster and will reach speeds of 91 miles per hour. When it opens next month, it'll be one of the 10 tallest roller coasters on the planet. In the scoop today, we're talking women in business. Elizabeth Edwards founded H Venture Partners, which invests in consumer brands. She's with Retail Region President Ilaria Rollins in our downtown studio at First Financial Bank.
Thanks, Kyla. I'm excited today to have Elizabeth Edwards with H Venture Partners. I'd love you to tell us a little bit about why you started the company, what you do.
Yeah, so H Venture Partners, we are an investor in consumer brands. So we're a venture capital fund. We invest all over North America in things that you can touch, things that you find in your home. So branded consumer products.
Tell me about an accomplishment that you're most proud of through your business.
Yeah, so 2019 was a huge year for us. Two of my previous portfolio companies went public, Peloton and Bill.com. And so of the 13 unicorn IPOs of 2019, we were in 2 of them, and it feels pretty
exciting.
good. Yeah.
Absolutely. So shocking stat of the day, less than 2% of venture dollars are invested in women. Tell me what the disconnect is and how do you encourage female founders?
Yeah, so actually this is one of the reasons why I started H Venture Partners. Because we're focused on consumer, we actually see a lot of female founders. And so about half the companies and this happened in the past. I had come across a female entrepreneur that had a direct-to-consumer food company and just beautifully branded, amazing product, an amazing executive. And we didn't end up doing the deal because she was rude and not even that hot was the reason. And I just felt like, oh my God, what a missed opportunity. She had accomplished what only 1% of startups do, which is that she had $1 million a month in revenue in her first year in business. And unfortunately, there are a lot of women like that that are selling products that are targeted at women. They themselves are female founders. And our industry is made up of a lot of men. 90% of VCs are men. And so it can be hard for female founders to find women to go pitch. Number one, women that are going to relate to them, relate to the products that they're selling. And I think, the other reason truly is just that this is a very homogenous community. So you find that a lot of VCs kind of like went to the same schools, the networks are pretty closed. And so I just thought it was a fantastic opportunity, both to focus on consumer, which is also underfunded, so only about 3% of venture dollars go to consumer, but then as one of the only female-founded, owned, controlled venture funds in the country, we naturally over-index on female founders.
Wow, some great insights. Thanks for stopping by today. Back to you, Kyla.
Thank you, ladies. Such a wonderful interview there. Well, still to come on First Financial Biz Beat, how one of the region's largest IT firms keeps its clients happy and why a local law firm is coming home. Patel helps run one of the region's largest IT consulting firms. As VP of Client Success at Velocio, his job is literally to ensure his customers prosper. He says that's what sets them apart from other firms. The clients work with the same people for years, developing long-term relationships. And then there's this.
We have a national footprint, but we're local. So the other is we really provide multiple solutions offerings. So we partner in what we believe are the best manufacturers of cloud-based technology, and that's Microsoft and Oracle NetSuite. And so with that, we're able to provide our recommendation, the right fit for our clients, what the solution is.
One of the largest law firms in Greater Cincinnati is coming home. Here to talk about DBL Law's big move back to Covington is Bob Hoffer, the firm's managing partner. He's on set with Courier editor Rob Dahmeyer.
Thanks very much, Bob. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Rob.
So you guys are one of the largest law firms in the city. Why move? Why do you have to move?
Well, we, at our present place in Crestview Hills, we just ran out of space. So about 1.5 years ago, we started the process of vetting, should we stay there or should we move to the urban core? Did a lot of investigation, hired some consultants to help us with that process. And the consensus was we want to go to the urban core and we want to be in Covington.
So why did you specifically pick downtown Covington? Lots of other urban areas of the city on both sides of the river. What was it about downtown Covington that flipped the switch for you?
There was great places that we looked at in a lot of different areas in the urban core, but what really brought us back to Covington, we started there when I began in 1980. We were in Covington. Right. We moved. And what really brought us back was just the vibrancy that's happening there right now. In addition to all the residences and condos that are being built, a lot of businesses are just thriving and moving back to that urban core. CTI moved in. Huntington Bank that we represent is there. Republic Bank is headquartered there. The Diocese of Covington, St. Elizabeth Healthcare, all contacts and relationships that DBL has and clients, they're all there and they're growing, and we just want to be part of that vibrancy.
Very walkable area. There's lots to do there, a lot of options for eating and so forth. What has been the reaction so far from your partners and employees about this coming move?
Overwhelming support. As I mentioned to someone earlier today, the reaction on social media once we made the announcement, both internally and externally, has just been off the chart. We really believe that this is a change maker for us in helping attract new talent and also retention. you know, the business opportunities that we have in Covington, I think, are going to broaden our scope.
So this is a historic building, correct? How does that work? Are you working with a firm to make sure that you do it the right way?
We are. We're working with developer Al Hanley, who is just an artist when it comes to developing historic buildings and transforming them into the current use. The historic building will be connected to a brand new building, similar to the county building in Covington, that will provide us 30,000 square feet, 4 floors, parking, just right in the middle of the business district, right where we want to be.
Will you have room to grow in the building, or is this will it be full when you move in?
No, that's a great question. Yes, we'll have plenty of room to grow. We've built into the space the opportunities for further growth, and we see that, you know, that over the next 20 years that we'll fill that building, and then we'll look at the next option. By that time, it'll be somebody else's problem.
Well, timing-wise, when are you going to start moving, and when's everything going to be done?
We anticipate in the next several weeks we'll finalize some incentive programs with Kenton County and also the School Board of Covington. They've been wonderful to work with. At that point, we'll be looking at obtaining permits with the final goal of moving into the new space in the fall of 2021. It'll be exciting.
Yeah, so last question for you. For viewers who don't know much about your law firm, talk a little bit about who your clients are. What kind of law do you practice?
So we're a full-service law firm. We have offices in Cincinnati and Atrium 2, our Crestview Hills office that'll be in Covington, and also our Louisville office. You know, we do a lot of banking work, healthcare work, commercial litigation, real estate work. We have our own title company. We have our own exchange company. So we're in growth mode in all 3 offices. We're just out of space where we are.
Yeah, and you started 40 years ago.
We did.
Wow. Well, congratulations. Good luck on the move. I'm sure everything will be great. The building looks fantastic. We have a really good story about it up on our website. So, Kyla, back to you.
Thank you. So happy to have Bob coming back to Covington, and happy to have you here with us again today. Thank you for joining us for First Financial Biz Beat. A heads up for you, next week you can catch us at 11:30 a.m. on Star 64. But for business news around the clock, visit thebusinesscourier.com. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and Facebook and sign up for our daily emails. I'm Kyla Woods. I hope you have a great weekend.